Hello students, in yesterday's class we started learning about general equation of a line. I used to give a quick recap or brush up about what we learnt in yesterday's class. We learnt the different forms of the general equation of a line, and we came to a conclusion that through slope intercept form and the intercept form, slope is minus a by b, y intercept is minus c by b, and x intercept is minus c by a. And we have seen through normal form that p is plus or minus c by square root of a square plus b square, cos omega and sin omega is respectively a by square root of a square plus b square, b by square root of a square plus b square. Then also we have learnt the formula to find the distance of a point from a line and the distance between two parallel lines. Alright. So these are all the things we have learnt in yesterday's class, and we have solved a few problems, and we are going to continue with exercise 10.3 in today's class. So let us move on to question number 3. I have given you question number 1 and 2 as a homework, and I have briefed you already. Now let us move on to question number 3. In the question number 3, they asked you to reduce the equation into normal form and then find their perpendicular distances from the origin and angle between perpendicular and positive x-axis. What is a normal form? This is what the equation given, x minus root 3y plus 8 equal to 0. What is a normal form? X cos omega plus y sin omega equal to p. We need to bring this question in this form, right? How can we do this? We know equal to, we need the constant, and p denotes the perpendicular distance, and hence it should be positive only. The perpendicular distance will be positive. Distance cannot be negative. So our first step is bring the constant to the other side of the equation. So we got x minus root 3y equal to minus 8, but it is negative. We know p should be positive. So divide throughout by minus. So it will become minus x plus root 3y equal to 8. And after this is the step you have to remember to express in normal form. What is that step? After this, we cannot directly write cos omega is minus 1, sin omega is root 3, and p is 8. Why? Because we have learnt in yesterday's comparison that the perpendicular distance, the value of p is c divided by square root of a square plus b square. Cos omega is a divided by square root of a square plus b square. Similarly, sin omega. So what are we going to do now is, we are going to divide throughout by square root of a square plus b square. That's what we are going to do now. We are going to divide throughout by square root of a square plus b square. What is a? Coefficient of x, plus what is b? Coefficient of y. Alright. So minus 1 the whole square plus root 3 the whole square. So which is going to be 1 plus root 3 the whole square is 3, square root of 4 which is 2. Now we need to divide throughout the equation by 2. Hope you understood why are we dividing by square root of a square plus b square. Because cos omega value is a divided by square root of a square plus b square. Sin omega value is b divided by square root of a square plus b square. We should know what is square root of a square plus b square. Okay. Because what we have here is a value, b value and c value. Right. So after dividing, or else you can directly substitute in the formula and you can obtain the values, but they asked you to bring it in the normal form. We need to express it in the normal form, right? So after dividing, we got minus x by 2 plus root 3 by 2 y equals to 4. We have divided throughout by 2. Now what is cos omega value? Minus 1 by 2. What is sin omega value? Root 3 by 2. Alright. Now we need to find what is omega. Again trigonometry plays a role here. So how can we find your omega? Here sin value is positive, cos value is negative. We know all silver teacups, right? So cos is negative, sin is positive. Sin is positive in the second quadrant. This is first, second, third, and this is fourth quadrant. So sin is positive in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, the theta value, how will you write? 180 minus theta, right? When at what angle cos will be 1 by 2 and sine will be root 3 by 2? At 60 degree. Omitting the sine, we know it is 60 degree. But now the angle lies in the second quadrant. If it lies in the second quadrant, it can be expressed as 180 minus theta. So omega lies in the second quadrant and hence omega equal to 180 minus 60, which is 120. Therefore omega is 120 degree. Now how will you express it in the normal form now? X cos omega plus y sin omega equal to P. So x cos 120 plus y sin 120 equals to, what is the perpendicular distance we got? P is equal to 4, right? So 4 is the normal form, and hence they asked you to find the perpendicular distance as well as omega. Perpendicular distance is nothing but the value of P and omega is nothing but 120 degree. Hope you understood. So what we did here, we brought the constant to the other side and we know P should be always positive. So make sure whether it is positive. If it is negative, divide throughout by negative sign and then divide throughout by square root of a square plus b square. You have to remember the formula. Then only you can proceed with this problem. Right? After dividing, identify where the angle lies in which quadrant. Accordingly, you assign the value of theta. If it lies in the first quadrant, it is going to be theta. Second quadrant 180 minus theta. Third quadrant 180 plus theta. And if it lies in the fourth quadrant, it is going to be 360 minus theta. These things already we have learnt in trigonometry chapter. Right? Accordingly, substitute the values and find your angle. And once you write the equation in the normal form, we can easily identify what is the perpendicular distance from the origin, which is nothing but P, and what is the angle made by the normal with the positive x-axis, which is nothing but omega. Hope you understood. I have solved one more problem for you. The second subdivision, y minus 2 equal to 0. Which means the first step is what? You have to bring the constant to the other side, so it is 2. Now it is positive only, so we don't want to multiply or divide by minus sign. So leave it. Now we don't have x coefficient, so I can replace it as 0x plus y equal to 2. Now what we have to do? We have to divide it throughout by square root of a square plus b square. Now a value is 0, b value is 1. So square root of 0 plus 1 square is nothing but square root of 1, which is 1. So dividing by that doesn't have any change in the equation. So what is cos omega? Cos omega is 0, sin omega is 1 and the p value is 2. Right? When cos omega will be, when cos theta will be 0 and sin theta will be 1 at 90 degree. Both are positive, therefore it lies in the first quadrant. Right? Therefore, what is your normal form? X cos 90 degree plus y sin 90 degree equals to 2 is the normal form, and the value of P is 2 and the value of omega is 90 degree. Yes, hope you understood. Let us move on to the next question now. Now we are in fifth question. Find the points on the x-axis whose distances from the line are 4 units. Understand the question properly. Find the points on the x-axis. When it lies on the x-axis, we know very well y value is 0. So it is of the form some x comma 0. Whose distance from the line x by 3 plus y by 4 equal to 1 or 4 units. Right? They have given you the distance between a line and a point. The distance between a line and a point is 4. They asked you to find the point. We know very well what is the formula. D is equal to modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by square root of a square plus b square. So for that we need to express the given equation in the general form, but it is in intercept form. So take LCM, express this in the form of ax plus by plus c, then only we can get the values of a, b, c. Then we can very well substitute in the formula to get the value of x. Right? Now let us see how can we solve this. Now see, as I explained to you, first we have to bring it in the form of ax plus by plus c. So I have taken LCM. So 4x plus 3y equals to 12 to that side. Hope you understood how I got this step. Take LCM, so you have to multiply this by 4 and this by 3, and the common denominator is going to be 12. If you bring the 12 to the other side, 12 into 1 is 12, right? Now bring this 12 to the other side, so it is minus 12, because we need it in the form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So the value of a is 4, value of b is 3, and the value of c is minus 12. You have to take it along with the sign, because we are comparing it with ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So a is 4, b is 3, c is minus 12, right? And the distance is 4 units. Since the points lie on x-axis, it is of the form a comma 0, plus or minus a comma 0, right? Because x value will be 0, x value is any constant, y value is 0. Now what is your distance formula? Modulus of ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by square root of a square plus b square. Now we have to substitute all the values here. We know the value of a, b, c, x1, y1. x1 is a and y1 is 0, right? We have to substitute. On substituting and simplification, we got 20 is equal to square root of 25 is 5. 5 into 4 is 20. 20 equal to modulus of 4a minus 12. What is this modulus? Modulus means plus or minus. So we are going to analyze what happens if it is going to be plus, what happens if it is going to be minus. If it is going to be plus, 4a minus 12 equal to 20. So 4a equal to 20 plus 12, so it is 32. A is going to be 8. If it is going to be minus of 4a minus 12 equal to 20, 4a minus 12 is minus 20. So 4a is minus 20 plus 12, which is minus 8. A is minus 2. Right? Therefore, the points are a comma 0. So 8 comma 0 and minus 2 comma 0. Thus we found the points on the x-axis. Right? Hope you understood how we did this. Let us move on to the next question now. Now we are in 7th question. Find the equation of the line parallel to the line and passing through the point. They asked you to find the equation of a line which is parallel to this line and passing through point. So we got 1 point on the line, and I told you already, whenever we come across parallel and perpendicular, find the slope, because we know the condition for the parallelity and perpendicularity. If two lines are parallel, their slopes will be equal. If two lines are perpendicular, the product of their slopes is equal to minus 1, right? So let us find the slope of this line. Then the slope of our required line will be equal to this. But how will you find a slope when an equation of a line is given? When 2 points on the line is given, we know the formula. What is slope formula? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. When the angle is given, we know to find the slope. What is the formula? Tan theta. But when the equation is given, how will you find your slope? We have derived in the beginning of today's session. What we derived? Slope is equal to minus a by b. Hope you remember. Slope is equal to minus a by b. X-intercept is minus c by a. Y-intercept is minus c by b. So slope can be obtained from the equation ax plus by plus c. How? Slope is equal to minus a by b, which is nothing but minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. This is the formula to find the slope when the equation is given. So slope can be obtained in 3 ways: when 2 points are given, when the angle of inclination is given, when the equation of the line is given. Right? Remember. So when the equation is given, what is the slope? Minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. So what will be the slope of this equation now? Minus 3 by minus 4. You have to take the values for a, b, c along with the sign. So coefficient of x is 3, coefficient of y is minus 4. So slope is going to be minus 3 divided by minus 4, which is nothing but 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is the slope of this line, but we need the slope of the line which is parallel to this. That is also going to be 3 by 4. So we have slope and 1 point passing through the line. So how will you find the equation of the line? Slope 1 point form. What is slope 1 point form? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. In that you got, what is your m? x1 y1 you got. So substitute and get your equation. Right? I am leaving this question to you. Next question.
Find equation of the line perpendicular to the line and having x-intercept 3. See, perpendicular to the line, again perpendicular. So we can find the slope of this equation, and if you negative reciprocate it, that will give you the slope of the required line. So we got slope and x-intercept. Slope and x-intercept. So that what will be the, how will you give the equation? Slope intercept form. Slope x-intercept form. What is it? Y is equal to m into x minus d. D is your x-intercept, m is the slope. If you substitute, you will get the equation of the required line. Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Find angles between the lines. How will you find the angles between the lines? We have done all these sort of problems in our previous exercise. Only thing is, here we are finding the slope from the equation of the line. There they have given you 2 points or the angle of inclination. That is the only difference. Otherwise, the remaining model problems have been done in our previous exercise. Find angle between two lines. How will you find the angle between two lines? We know the formula. Tan theta is equal to m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Hope you remember. Tan theta is equal to what? How will you find the equation? See, we read already. Tan theta, angle between two lines. Tan theta is equal to modulus of m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. And we told you, if this is positive, theta is going to be acute angle. If this is negative, theta is going to be obtuse angle. How will you find your obtuse angle? 180 minus theta. Yes, this is the formula to find the angle between two lines. So to substitute in this formula, we need two slopes, right? So that's why here they have given you two equations. From the equation, we know how to find our slope. So from this, m1 can be found by using the formula minus a by b. So minus root 3 divided by 1. m2 is going to be minus 1 by root 3, right? So m1 and m2 we got it, and then substitute in tan theta formula to get your theta. Yes, theta is the angle between the lines. Let us move on to the next question. A line through the points h, 3 and 4, 1 intersects the line at right angle. Find the value of h. So what is given here? A line passing through the points intersects another line at right angle. See, we are in 10th question now. A line through the points. The line through the points h, 3 and 4, 1 intersects another line 7x minus 9y minus 19 equal to 0 at right angle. They asked you to find the value of h. See, a line passing through these 2 points intersects another line at right angle. So right angle means what? 90 degree, perpendicular. So immediately what will strike your mind? Slope. We can find the slope of this line using minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y, minus a by b. So we can find the slope. Immediately we can find the slope of this line as well, because we know 2 points. How will you find the slope? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Right? In that we can find the slope of this. But what about the slope of this and this? m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. We can find the slope of this, name it as m1. We can find the slope of this line, name it as m2. m2 will be in terms of h, but we know m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Substitute in this equation, we can very well find what is the value of h. Right? Hope you understood. Let us move on to 11th question now. 11th question is prove that the line through the point x1 y1 and parallel to the line ax plus by plus c equal to 0, this a into x minus x1 plus b into y minus y1 equal to 0. This can be easily arrived. They have given you the equation. They asked you to check whether that is the equation of this line or not. This is same way as our 7th question. We got a point and we know that line is parallel to another line. What we did, we found the slope of this and we have used with slope 1 point form. The same way here, Instead of numerical values, they have given you a, b, c, x1, y1. That's it. What will be the slope of this line? Minus a by b. Right? So the slope of this line is also going to be minus a by b only. Right? Now we got the slope and 1 point. Use slope 1 point form. What it is? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So if you substitute, already it is x1 y1 only, so no need to substitute this. And in the place of m, if you put minus a by b and you simplify it, cross multiply and bring it to the other side, you will get the answer. Right? The next question is 12th one. This is quite interesting. See, two lines passing through the point 2, 3. Two lines passing through the point 2, 3 intersects each other at an angle of 60 degree. If slope of one line is 2, find the equation of other line. Slope of one line is 2, they asked you to find the equation of another line. Okay, so how can we solve it? We need to find the equation of this line. And since both the lines passes through the point 2, 3, we got a point on the line now. Right? And if we find its slope, we can go with slope 1 point form. How to find its slope? They have given you the angle between the two lines and another slope. So immediately we can use angle between two lines formula. What is angle between two lines formula? Tan theta is equal to m2 minus m1 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Using this formula, we know the angle between these two is 60 degree, right? So tan 60 degree, which is equals to theta is 60. So tan 60 is equal to modulus of m2 minus m1, we know 2 divided by 1 plus 2m2. Right? What is tan 60? Tan 60 is root 3. Right? Substitute the values here and simplify it, you can find m2. Since we have modulus, we will get two values for that m2. What will happen if it is positive? What will happen if it is negative? So we will get two values for m2. Once we get two values for m2, we got our slope. Right? Then slope 1 point form, you can give the equation. Since you have two values for m2, you can give two equations of the line. Yes? Hope you understood. Let us move on to the next question. Now we are in 13th question. Find the equation of the right bisector. Right bisector means what? It is at right angle, at the same time it is the bisector. Bisector means dividing into two equal halves. So they asked you to find the equation of the right bisector of the line segment joining the points 3, 4 and minus 1 by 1, 2. They asked you to find the equation of the right bisector of the line joining these two points. So from the right bisector itself, we got two clues. One is it is at right angle. Another one is it divides into two equal halves. We got the 2 points on the line. So if we find the midpoint of these two, that will give you what is this point. And obviously this point lies on this line as well. Right? I repeat, the midpoint of these two going to give you this. This point lies on our required line as well. So we got 1 point. And also we know this is perpendicular. So with 2 points we can find the slope easily, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And since this is perpendicular, we know the other slope of the other line will be negative reciprocal, right? So we can find the slope of this. So we got slope and 1 point. So we can go with slope 1 point form. So find midpoint and slope, use slope point form. Yes? Hope you got it. Now we are in 14th question. It is given, find the coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular from the point minus 1, 3 to the line. Right? Foot of the perpendicular. It is perpendicular. They asked you to find the coordinates of this. So far what we did is we had only one unknown value. So we easily found out. But here we have two unknown values. Both x and y coordinate we need to find out. So we need a minimum of two equations to find two unknowns, right? So what can be done here? What are we going to do here is, as I told you, as we are doing it repeatedly, when it is perpendicular, immediately we will go for slope. we can find the slope of this line and we can find the slope of our required line using 2 point, right, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Obviously it will be in terms of a and b, and this slope, using this also we can find another slope m2, right. So this is going to be m1, the slope of this is going to be m1, the slope of this is going to be m2, right. What is the relation between m1 and m2? We know the product of these two will be equal to minus 1. So substitute m1 and m2 in this, which is equal to minus 1. We will obtain an equation in terms of a and b. I repeat, find the slope of this line using y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So after finding both the slope, substitute in this, m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Obviously we get an equation in terms of a and b. As I told you, one equation is not sufficient to find two unknown variables. If it is only one coordinate, x coordinate or y coordinate is missing, we can find out using that. So how can we obtain the other equation? What are we going to do is, we know this a comma b lies on this equation as well, lies on this line as well, right. So substitute a comma b in this, we will get another equation in terms of a and b. Now if we solve these two equations, we can find the values of a and b, right. So what are all the steps involved in solving this problem? Find the slope of this line and substitute in m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. We will get an equation in a and b. Then substitute the point in the line 3x minus 4y minus 16 equal to 0. Again we will get an equation in a and b. To solve these two equations, we can find the value of a and b, and hence the foot of the perpendicular, right. Hope you understood. Let us move on to the 15th question now. 15th question, what is given is the perpendicular from the origin. Perpendicular from the origin. The perpendicular from the origin to the line y equal to mx plus c meets at minus 1 comma 2. Meets at minus 1 comma 2. Find the values of m and c. A perpendicular from the origin to the line y equal to mx plus c meets at minus 1 comma 2. They asked you to find the values of m and c. And again it is given, it's a perpendicular. So what is the slope of this line? Since we know both the points, we can find the slope using y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Then if we negative reciprocate it, that will give you the value of m. That is the slope of this line, right, perpendicular line. So if we negative reciprocate it, we can find the value of m. So how can we find the value of c now? C is y-intercept, right, and it is clearly given this minus 1 comma 2 falls on this line, yes, or this line passing through minus 1 comma 2. So if we substitute minus 1 comma 2 in this equation along with the value of m which we found in our first step, we can very well find what is our c. Yes, I repeat, first find the slope using the 2 points, and if you negative reciprocate it, we can find the slope of this line because it is perpendicular. That will give you the value of m. How to find the value of c? This point lies on this line, so we can substitute x as minus 1 and y as 2. And also the value of m we know already. If you substitute all the three values, we can find what is our c. Right? Hope you have got it. With this, let us wind up today's class. I have given you all the clues to solve problems from question number 7 to 15. So I want you to do all these problems as homework and post it in the group without fail. If you have any doubts in solving these problems, you can ask me. We will continue the exercise in the next class. Thank you, students.